What's up, everyone? Welcome back for episode 13 of the Tap Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tim. Today I'm joined by Dougie.
How's it going?
My partner in crime, Al.
Hello, hello.
And the ghost of the internet, Chris.
Hey.
How are we all doing?
Not bad.
Can't complain.
That's good.
I'm doing swell.
Doing swell? You're not doing swole?
Swimmingly.
You're not doing swole?
I'm going swimmingly.
All these SW words. I can't handle it. But alright, that's good. Everyone's doing well. Chris, you almost out of the doghouse at work?
Yeah, I think I got a week left of
That's good.
ridiculous.
Dun dun.
Come next week. You'll be in better spirits.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. That is the hope. So we start off every show with what we've been playing. So we'll start with our guest this week. Dougie, what have you been playing?
I've actually been replaying Dante's Inferno.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just needed something to kill. It's only 8.5 hours long, and it's a perfect God of War clone. So,
It is.
and that is actually it. I've been pretty slacking this week.
There we go. Al, what have you been playing?
A lot of what I played from last week.
So 2048, Dexterous, and Beautiful Katamari. Or
Yes.
Katamari Forever. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been just having a cycle. Although I think I've been playing so much Katamari Forever that it's making me nauseous. Just with the rolling and the spinning
That
and
can
the
happen.
yeah.
That's a side effect.
I don't know if it's a seizure. I'll let you know. But
I'm pretty sure it's not
I
a
feel like
seizure.
you'd know.
You would know if it was a seizure or not.
I think you'd have some idea. Yeah.
I don't think you need anyone to tell you that.
seizure, stroke, it's all the same.
Keep a spoon on hand. No, again,
I
stroke.
don't think it's either of those. Al.
Stroke you'd know too. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. Well, I'm working on something bad.
Okay. Well,
Aneurysm.
yeah. You know you'd feel that too. Probably more so.
No, it's just swelling. It's cool. It's on its way.
Yeah. Chris, what have you been playing?
I started playing Arkham Origins Blackgate, so for Vita.
How miserable is that?
The combat isn't great, but I mean the detective mode and investigating things is somewhat interesting.
That's the one with the swooping camera angle.
Well,
It's like the 2.5D.
Yeah.
Like, it's got that depth of field, like wraps around corners and shit like that.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like a 2D side scroller action adventure type thing. So
And I watched you play the demo, and that was uncomfortable. I didn't enjoy it.
yeah,
How far did you get into it?
couple hours.
Impressions?
I don't know. It's not. Great.
Buyer's remorse.
Sure as hell sounds
Somewhat.
like it.
I don't know. I almost feel like it would have been like a better short graphic novel to have included with Arkham Origins than an actual game.
You know, they talked about that, how the art style, and how you're never going to see it, but they really should have used that more outside than just that game,
Yeah,
because no one's going to see it.
yeah.
Anything else?
No, that was the only thing.
Tim, you got to anchor us here. Please tell us you played something.
No, well, this week, I finally... I tried to start playing Warface again because it's out of closed beta, and I want to say it's out of open. I think it's in open beta, or it's in like regular game now. It's just a game now. No longer beta.
I feel like beta for anything in particular
But,
games is an easy excuse.
Well, I tried playing it, but the servers were down Friday, and then I completely forgot to play it Saturday. I put it on the outline, but I didn't play it, so I lied. But what I did play was, Al and I did a few retro videos this week, so obviously I played WCW Main Event, which you saw. We played, Al played Cliffhanger.
Ah, yes, awesome.
On Game Boy, and then I played Donkey Kong and got really pissed off at it on Game Boy. But in addition to those, I played, I actually started Lord of the Rings Guardians of Middle-earth. It's the MOBA on Xbox Live Arcade.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. There's a lot of tutorials and training, so the majority of what I played was that. But after I got through that and that initial point, it was actually really fun. And then I played, believe it or not, some Titanfall.
What?
So
That one's shocking to
Jumping
me.
back into the saddle.
dude, Titanfall honestly is like riding a bike, and I picked it up and I haven't played it in probably like 2 or 3 weeks, and I haven't skipped a beat. So I guess that's. I don't know if that's just indicative of the game or just indicative of my play style when it comes to those type of games. But like, yeah, I didn't skip a beat. I still ran train on people.
Well, it's good to know you still got the skills.
Yeah, so it was fun. But yeah, my goal this week is to get caught up on all my Telltale stuff. So I want to burn through. Yeah, I want to burn through Wolf Among Us because then we're going to talk about that later. But I want to get caught up on the 3rd episode of Walking Dead as well.
You're gonna have to do that all by today, because Tuesday.
Watch Dogs comes out Tuesday.
Oh God.
But yeah, we're going to get into that. But yes. What have we been watching?
What have you been watching?
What have you been watching?
Okay.
We'll start with Chris.
All right, cool.
I got to watch 24. That's about it. So I'm up to date with that.
Yay! Yay, Chris.
Is that it? All right. Now we'll go counterclockwise.
Kitta, yeah.
I can't even talk there. We're going counterclockwise.
I forget if I said this last week or if that was still part of last week. Godzilla, was that last week? Did we see that? Did I say that in the podcast, or would that be counted for this week?
Well, seeing how we saw Godzilla on Tuesday of this week.
Okay. So, yeah.
You couldn't have said it on Sunday.
Okay, yeah. All right, no, I'm
to clarify, Godzilla was new.
Dude, everything just one day meshes into the other. So, saw Godzilla.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, I know.
Get
I don't even
a
know my name.
planner, man. My God.
Who the hell are you again? No, I'm just kidding. But saw Godzilla.
Maybe you did have an aneurysm.
Probably.
I'm telling you. It's swelling.
Yeah, but, all right, so you saw Godzilla.
Saw Godzilla. I have mixed feelings.
Unacceptable. Nope. You enjoyed it.
I didn't.
The internet enjoyed it, so you enjoyed it.
I guess so. The design of Godzilla, I really enjoyed. The creatures that he faced, and not having enough Bryan Cranston kind of pissed me off. Because I enjoyed Bryan Cranston in that. Hey, you know what? They should have seen the movie by now.
Yeah, no, the movie's been out for 2 weeks. We're not going into spoilers. If you want to go into spoilers, you gotta say spoilers.
All right.
And tell people to skip ahead. But also, keep in mind, have you guys seen Godzilla?
Nope.
Yeah, then stop talking.
Everything is spoilers, Al. Everything.
Just say your piece and move forward.
Okay. So, yeah. Meh. And as for that, been keeping up on 24. Been watching, obviously, NBA playoffs, and I don't think there's really anything else. We caught the last one of the last episodes of Bones. Remember that?
Yeah, it was just like a fucking shootout.
It was actually kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I have no idea what the
I've never
about.
seen a single episode of Bones. It's been going for like 10 years, and I watched like one of the second to last episodes, and I was like, kind of cool. But, yeah.
What have you been watching, Dougie?
Let's see. I finally watched Star Trek II, Into Darkness.
You gotta specify.
Yeah, no, I know. There's the originals. I've watched Star Trek Into Darkness. I liked it.
Yes.
It's about what I expected for an action movie, but there were a couple of things that, I don't know, they just did a good job with it. They did a good job with what they had. I let a lot of people hated it because it kind of, I don't know. I don't really get where the fandom is nowadays, but I'd check it out. It's on Netflix. I watched Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Not as good as the first one, but enjoyable.
Not enough meatballs?
There were no meatballs.
Too many meatballs.
There were 0 meatballs in this one.
Then
Spoilers.
that's a complete lie.
Earmuffs. Yeah.
Skip ahead.
Sons of bitches.
And today I rewatched Frozen, Disney.
That's cool.
And I love that movie, so I'm probably going to do that again pretty soon. And really, that's it. No TV shows. I suck.
No, I watched.
There's really not much for TV out there right now.
I watched 24. I watched Godzilla, which I thought was fantastic.
Al.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm one of the hated few.
Alice has a dissenting opinion upon the movie.
I like the first half. I'll at least leave that.
Okay. Well, I liked it through and through. I too rewatched Star Trek Into Darkness, and I have a newfound appreciation for the movie.
What? What?
Only because I have a newfound appreciation for Benedict Cumberbatch because
Okay.
I started watching Sherlock.
Who, by the way, has the most British name in history.
Yeah, but
Benedict
also,
Cumberbatch. Anyway.
but the show Sherlock is fantastic.
That's a BBC,
The
right?
BBC one, not the crappy fucking Elementary Johnny Lee Miller fucking Lucy Liu one that sucks asshole.
Now
That's
there's
a good one.
now. I don't know what the name of it is, and I don't know if it's already started shooting. But him and Tom Hardy are supposed to be doing a BBC series.
He's also I heard Benedict Cumberbatch is supposed to be in a movie about Whitey Bulger.
Ooh.
Yes, with Johnny Depp as Whitey Bulger.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. But no, I have a newfound appreciation for Into Darkness, having watched it the second time. The first time I watched
Voice
it,
is scary as
the
hell.
first time I watched it, I absolutely fucking hated that movie.
Really?
He didn't like the quips.
Oh.
Well, no, because having seen Wrath of Khan. You've never seen Wrath of Khan?
No.
If you've watched Wrath of Khan and then you watch Into Darkness,
They're
you
different.
would have had the same exact opinion as me.
Yeah.
You would have
It's
been like,
fair.
Well, you look at the tone, because in Wrath of Khan, there is no relief at all. It's a very dark movie through and through.
Which is a badass. I love that
No,
movie.
I'm saying,
yeah.
but like through and through, it's a very dark movie, and then with Into Darkness, they set a very different tone, and you know, like it wasn't necessarily peaks and valleys, but like it would kind of be like, this is supposed to be a serious moment, but then immediately after we're gonna have comedic relief. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that's not
Very
it's not-
serious.
It's not placed
The
appropriately.
thing is crippled or somebody is hurt. Scotty!
Yeah, but I'm saying, like upon watching it again, I have a newfound appreciation for the movie, and now I actually like it. But upon my initial viewing of it, I was not impressed. I was actually disappointed.
I can see that. It's a fairly by the numbers movie, but then they threw some nice twists in there
Some
with the
badass
with
scenes.
the whole.
No, I liked it.
Being
like I'm
Star
saying,
Trek.
But, I watched the first season of Sherlock, which is awesome, and the way the BBC does it is like it's like mini movies. Each episode's an hour and a half,
I didn't know that.
Wow.
so there's only 3 episodes a season.
Oh. Okay.
So it's good though. Like
That
it's-
kinda works.
it's
That
really good.
That
Yeah.
explains much more of what I've been hearing about it, having never watched it.
And then this morning I watched Machete Kills,
Oh God.
No.
which was far worse than the first one.
Yeah,
And it wasn't even like a good worse.
It
No.
was a more there was like, how many like second rate actors can we stuff into one movie and not even have a proper conclusion?
Yeah.
How bad is it? Like,
I'm not gonna
has
go into,
Mel
like-
Gibson completely fallen off?
No, actually.
Mel Gibson was actually the best actor in that movie.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But like, it's just like how much like tits and ass can we stuff into this movie, and like even just like, and a lot of the stuff that happened in the movie, it's like they recycled a lot of the same like ridiculous shit.
Absolutely.
So they cut a guy's intestines out, and then he.
No, not
used-
not that specific, but yeah, they did recycle a lot of that.
Even in terms of like, it was just done differently. Like for instance, there's 2 instances in the movie where 2 guys get killed in identical ways. One is with entrails, and one is with the that grabber thing.
Yes.
Or no, sorry, it was a spear gun.
Yeah.
Killed the exact same way. And I'm just like, come on, like you basically
More
had
creative.
original. I'm saying you had original deaths for pretty much every other person in the movie, but for these like the 2 particular like henchmen, like you kill them almost identically. But I don't know. Overall, like it was entertaining and it was ridiculous.
It wasn't as much
It
fun as the first.
wasn't as much fun as because you knew what to expect,
Yeah.
and they kind of like. But also, the ending was really bad.
The ending was garbage.
Well, if you want to talk about killing people, just talk to Ed Boon. He knows how to kill people.
Mortal Kombat reference. If you don't get it. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I watched this week that I believe. No, I watched Pain and Gain again.
You blew us out of the water, man.
Yeah, I like to burn a candle from both ends.
Oh man.
I try to take advantage. But anyways, yeah. So we're gonna move on to new releases. This week we have Watch Dogs coming out. So if you happen to own a
That's gonna be huge.
Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, or PC, you're in luck. Wii U, you're gonna have to wait a little while.
People who are listening should have those systems.
Gonna say.
So we hope most of our viewership has almost something.
Does it work on my Xbox? My original Xbox?
Can I get that on GameCube? Oops, sorry.
I need it on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, you're out of luck. Yeah. They're gonna port it to a GD-ROM. You're gonna get like the first 4 minutes of the game.
I want it on Sega 32X.
Does it work on my Jaguar?
You want to turbo graphics? Mario Kart 8 comes out for Wii U.
Oh, wow.
Mind Zero comes out for PlayStation Vita. And the Sly Cooper collection comes out on the PlayStation Vita.
Now, doesn't Nintendo always release it on a different date than...
Sundays.
Yeah.
But I believe this time around, it's coming out Friday. I believe May 30th.
Interesting.
They
It's just smart.
They usually do Sundays, but yeah, they typically don't like to release the same day. So yeah, and with that, we're gonna transfer into news. Chris doesn't participate at all.
Yeah.
Eventually.
He will. He'll get on board.
We'll get you.
The first thing, quick piece of Nintendo news for anyone who cares.
Still in debt? No.
Well, I'm still in debt.
Consecutive podcasts of talking about
Yeah, that's not
Nintendo's
bad.
debt.
It was a couple of podcasts ago, probably like this point is probably like maybe a month or two. We alluded to the fact that Nintendo was in the process of shutting down their Nintendo Wi-Fi service for the Wii and the Nintendo DS, and that has finally come about this past Wednesday, I believe the 20th. They shut down their Wi-Fi services for a number of DS and Wii titles. A lot of major titles affected. So if you played any of the Pokemon games or Mario or Mario Kart on either the Wii or the DS, you are now playing local.
It's pretty sad that it's come to that.
That's especially those titles. Why wouldn't they do the...
It's a matter of resources.
Good point.
I mean, it goes to show, though, how desperate, things have gotten for them, that they can't still provide resources to their, first-party titles.
But we were just talking about it last week. Like, the same could be said for EA. Like, EA is probably in better financial standing than Nintendo is, and they should shut down 50 games that...
That one I heard about.
I'm saying, but even though, those games equated for less than 1% of their overall, server traffic, then what's the point of shutting it down?
Yeah.
If those were actually, getting significant traffic and cost you an exorbitant amount of money to keep them going, like with Nintendo, it's something that
it's real money.
By doing this, they're incentivizing people buying new hardware. It's like, oh, you can't play Mario Kart Wii on Wii anymore online because we want you to buy Mario Kart 8 and play it on Wii U on Nintendo Network.
Yeah. I mean, certain games that they haven't come out with a sequel yet, I would say, at least hold on to, like Super Smash Brothers on Wii, at least keep that open until, a month or two before you release, the next one.
Yeah,
at least for fan service, so to speak,
Yeah, but at this point, they're not concerned about fan service. They're concerned about making money.
Right.
Well,
they gotta stay solvent.
You could say they're concerned about making money, but I don't think they are.
Clearly, the record shows that they don't
save money. I guess.
I think that marijuana bill getting passed in Seattle kind of went to their heads, and they're all just sitting around just getting baked.
How do we burn money faster, man?
Buy weed, man.
It'd be great. Make another weed.
Weed like to play with you.
We too.
Like Reggie Fils-aime just shows up to your house with a bomb. It's like, weed like to play, bro.
It's interactive and shit.
It's like a bowl made out of like a gutted Wiimote.
And I wonder how many of our viewers are gonna go do that after they watch this.
Press Z,
Smoking
man.
plastic is bad for you. Don't do that.
Don't do it, guys.
All right. So moving forward, let's see. The first gameplay trailer for Arkham Knight was revealed this week, and I have to say it looked fantastic. Did everyone get a chance to check it out?
Just the screenshots. Sorry.
That's cool.
I was saying Blue Irons.
I've been sleeping a lot.
It's okay. I CC'd you on this outline a week ago.
I know. I'm the worst.
I mean, I kind of brushed past the fighting parts to it, to be honest. I just wanted to see, if they would get to the driving parts. So when you could see the driving parts, I was like, man, this is...
Now, the trailer was 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Well, no, I didn't, brush, I didn't, just zap to it. I wasn't really completely focused on the fighting, because, you should have an idea of what the fighting mechanics are going to be like now, or have been from the past.
What, do you have a book open while you're watching it? You punching somebody? Ooh, the car.
Well, I was kind of... on the computer, just going through different sites. And
Oh, different sites.
then, hey man, sometimes
Shameful.
you gotta.
You
I
really.
just stroked out for like 45 seconds of this 2-minute trailer. The car is pretty.
But all right, to be fair, the
looks
trailer
sweet.
was really
Yeah.
really fucking sweet, and I am now very much pumped about the driving portions.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a welcome addition. Chris, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I thought it was awesome, actually. I do wish we got to see more gameplay. I mean, like Al said, like, yeah, you should have a pretty good idea as to what the combat's like now, but I would have liked to have seen, like, what they added. Because I think not sure if it was the article you posted or something I read somewhere, but, like, they mentioned, like, sometimes, like, when you counter people and they have, like, a bat or whatever, like, you can actually take it away from them now and, like, use it to attack, which is new. Normally you can't really do that. And there's, like, more involvement with, like, objects in the environment, like, being able to take down people that way. But what else? The Batmobile, too. I mean, we got to see, like, short,
Very, very quick.
yeah, like quick shots of what it's doing. I wish we got a little bit more of that too.
Yeah, it was fairly cutscene laden.
It's still early, right?
Well, it's coming out in October, so
Huh.
yeah, they're making good headway on it. We'll probably see a better video at E3 in the next couple of weeks, but yeah, no, I'm excited for the environmental stuff because I really liked what they did with sleeping dogs in terms of like environmental attacks. So
I didn't get to play that,
I
unfortunately.
mean, no, sleeping dogs. They did like the combat is very, very similar to Arkham, like Arkham combat, like Arkham style combat. But they also have a lot of like environmental, like kind of triggers. So like depending on where you are, like if you're next to like a industrial air conditioner, like you can like shove someone's head into it. It's like
Yeah.
you can kill them. So it's pretty cool. I don't think you'll be able to do it with that. So obviously he doesn't kill people, which is bullshit. But.
He should.
Questions I had about it. Two questions. One is the Arkham Knight. Is that a created character?
Yes.
Not a comic book. And
Yeah, it's completely unique to this game, and it looks badass.
second to that, do you feel that inevitably is going to be like the main villain?
Depending
I think
on.
that's pretty much what they were trying to assert in,
Yeah.
in the trailer is that like he's the.
Well, I know
he's kind of the
Scarecrow has some sort of like impact, but
No, obviously, but like I think it's like their collective effort to kind of combat Batman. But like no, I think he's kind of like the puppet master. He's behind the string, pulling the strings from behind the scenes.
I hope like it's not just like another like it's not one of the rogue galleries just portraying himself as.
Actually, I have an idea of what it might be, and no, it's not what you're thinking.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, the Arkham Knight trailer, it's out. You should definitely watch it.
I will.
Yeah, it's definitely it's cool. It's,
Sorry, it's work for you, Ryan.
well, it's cool just to see that they're finally like I'm glad that they decided to go next gen only with it because they can finally make the game look as good as the PC counterparts. So I'm excited for that.
I hope they go Wii U with it as well.
And it's not gonna happen. When I said next gen, I meant next gen.
Pew 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 pew.
Didn't all week. But yeah. Moving forward. Sony CEO Kaz Hirai said that the PlayStation 4 is already profitable for the company. So on a unit by unit basis, they are making money off the PlayStation 4, which is good to see.
No, that says unit by unit. Does that mean that they're losing somewhere else?
They have
Because
to
that sounds like
be.
very specific wording.
Overall, the brand is.
Up just. There you go.
I just spilled it everywhere.
No, I got it.
My word, Al.
Shh, it's okay.
It's not.
At age 28, Al is still incapable of pouring a beer.
Unit by units.
Unit by unit.
Sales.
Year by year.
Figures.
But yeah, no, he said unit by unit. So in terms of, I'm assuming that there's some portion of the PlayStation brand that is not necessarily hemorrhaging money, but is not necessarily profitable. So overall, the hardware itself is making money, but there's some other portion of the company that, well, obviously there's many portions of Sony that are not making money currently.
Poor Sony.
But well, so happens when you kind of spread yourself too thin.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that. Well, all right, sorry, I just kind of edited the outline by accident. Coming into E3 this year, EA is set to reveal 6 new games.
That's a lot of games.
But some of those aren't technically new in the sense that...
No, they said 6 new IP.
Oh, okay.
But one of them, but obviously one of them is probably going to be... They've already technically revealed it was Mirror's Edge 2.
I heard something about Mass Effect 4, but that obviously then, you like what you said, that's not part of the 6.
Yeah, well, it comes down to like the announcement of whatever titles they're revealing. When they say new, it could be, from what I was able to interpret, it was new IP, but it could be something different. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see some new stuff. E3 is usually, I'd say, the best forum to kind of reveal this kind of stuff. So hopefully, I'm excited for E3 this year. Hopefully, I think that like we talked about last year, last episode. I think that each and every company needs to come out kind of swinging with some new stuff, and
That would be nice.
And just kind of go beyond what is expected of them. You know, like obviously with Sony, we expect them to come out and show Uncharted 4, and I would love to see Last Guardian, but
Yeah, not yet.
I would love to see a pile of money in my living room. You know, neither of those are going to happen.
I'm kind of pumped though. They did mention Star Wars Battlefront, a new Battlefront.
Oh yeah.
So I'm kind of pumped to see
Dice
that.
is working on that, so that should be good.
Who made the first two? Just straight LucasArts EA?
I don't believe EA had anything to do with the.
I'm thinking something else then.
Well, Battlefront. The first 2 Battlefronts were done by Free Radical.
Oh.
It's the same company they did Time Splitters, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
But seeing it from Dice should be an interesting change of pace.
Yeah, as long as Andrew Close doesn't touch it, would be good. Those are the assholes who've made 2 really bad Medal of Honor games.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
But yeah. So we talked about this last week when we kind of went on our little rant about the Xbox One, and this news broke that literally the day after we recorded, Rare was hit with layoffs after Microsoft changed its policies on Kinect and it being bundled with every Xbox One. So I think that should come as no surprise to anyone, and I think that a lot of other companies that were investing in Kinect are going to kind of reassess what they're going to be doing. And I feel for the people at Rare who were laid off, lost their jobs because of this, but it was an inevitability that if Microsoft decided to kind of deviate from a Kinect future, that people's jobs were in jeopardy. So I feel bad for the people that were laid off, but I can't say I'm surprised that this happened.
Very unfortunate that that had to happen.
Well, it's the nature of the beast nowadays. Everything costs more, and people don't have as much money to buy it, so they got to stay solvent somehow.
Well, now I'm curious
They
about
don't like it, but they have to.
Now I'm curious about Harmonix. What's going to happen with them? Because they were kind of working up on different projects involving Kinect, and obviously that's going to probably go by the wayside. So,
well, they were like anything that was fully funded. Like if you're referring to Fantasia, like that game is fully funded. Like they're not actually like, oh, Kinect's not every Xbox.
Well, no. I mean, I just mean future projects. You know, like because they could have had some ideas for a Kinect game that could have been really cool, but
well, I think they're going to finish Fantasia, and then our next news thing is that their Amplitude Kickstarter got funded.
Transition.
We're getting good. We're getting better.
Amplitude
only took 3 months, but we're getting there.
Amplitude is for
PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, which I put a few things in the outline. I kind of want to discuss. Well, their Kickstarter goal was $775,000, and they literally hit it in the last day. With like 20 hours to go, they hit their crowdfunding goal.
very nice.
But just to not forget about other things that we had. All right, cool. I just kind of want to get your guys' take on. Do you think necessarily right? So this game is being published by Sony. Harmonix fronted half of the development cost out of pocket, and then they crowd-funded the other half of the development cost. Do you think that's acceptable?
How much of how's revenue getting split, and how's the sales model working through the goals on Kickstarter? Like who gets what when this game is made?
Harmonix and Sony.
Do people that funded it get a free game?
Well, no, depending on
you
how
get
much
certain
money,
benefits.
depending on how much money you back, you get. There's a certain tier. So if you
Right. No, I've funded a couple of things on Kickstarter.
Yeah, so you give say you give $15, you got a free copy of the game when it comes out in 2015. But I'm just saying, do you think it's this game is only on PlayStation platforms, so PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Do you think it's acceptable that Sony's we'll let you make this game, but you have to pay for all of it?
Oh no, Sony should have absolutely fronted some money, a third of it at least.
Because realistically, if Harmonix fronted half the money and then they crowdfunded the other half,
then it should go to Harmonix.
Is Sony really that hard up that they couldn't front this company $1.6 million?
I mean, given the fact of where they are right now, everybody's hitting losses though.
Yeah, but they've given far more money to other indie developers to secure stuff for PlayStation 4 than a game that's almost the entire original Amplitude and Frequency team still work at Harmonix.
Okay, I'm just gonna be the devil in disguise, so to speak. So how popular was those series? Were they cult classics? Were they big hits? Were they,
Well, you got to understand that at the time there were no digital games. Those games came out Amplitude came out in 2003, so you were only buying games on disc at brick and mortar. And in a digital environment, you think that even if that game sold, say the development cost, we'll just round it up, $2 million. You're telling me you're not going to make $2 million back on that game if you sold it for $20?
I mean, that's fair to say. I mean, there's just some franchises though it's tough to take a risk on. I mean, I'm sure
there's no licensed music in the game.
That's the thing. If they're going to be getting some of the money, they should have put some of it up. That's
basically
silly.
they're we'll give you, because Sony owns the rights to Amplitude. They own the name.
Okay.
But they weren't willing to invest any money into it.
Maybe they made an agreement with them where they're all right, we'll front the marketing behind it in the sense of we'll put it here.
They must be doing something if they're going to get a piece of the.
No, they have to. Yeah.
But it's also the game has no licensed music in it.
No, it's shady.
So the reason why the development costs are so low is there is no licensed music in the game. They're making all the music for the game. Which makes me kind of believe that at $1.6 million they're able to do that in-house.
It's just tough because I just see in the way of with some franchise, or not franchise, but some games that hit this years later, people are oh, they totally need to make another one. People, this game Psychonauts, that game was awesome. Totally need to make another one of those. Beyond Good and Evil, that was amazing. Let's make another one of those. But I mean, realistically, that's all well and good. But if it didn't sell well to begin with, then why would a company back that? Do you back in the hopes that maybe it becomes something? Or
well, it's just shady of Sony to back it, but then not actually putting physical support. They're just yeah, you can make this for us. It's shady.
Well, the thing is, I think with this Kickstarter, they were trying to gauge interest.
And that's fine, but Sony shouldn't make nearly as much money.
But the thing is, if they didn't fund it, if they didn't hit their Kickstarter goal, they weren't making the game. It wasn't we got to 770,000, we missed it by $5,000. Sony's just all right, we'll step in and this game wasn't getting made.
Right.
So it's sometimes.
Now, is Harmonix owned by another studio, or they're just their own studio?
Harmonix is an independent studio.
Okay, because I was gonna say that could have some some politics involved.
But yeah, some people assume that Harmonix had this war chest of money lying around from all the Dance Central games and all the Rock Band games that they've made and everything. But it's they paid money out the asshole in licensing fees.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can agree then in the sense that I could see why Harmonix was like, we need your support because honestly, like, if we tried to put money into this and it fails, this could kill us. You know, I could see where they were coming from. It is, I'll agree in the sense that it is messed up that Sony couldn't back them, but I completely understand why Harmonix was like, all right, if you guys think that this is something you want, then help us out because we could, we'll do it. But I mean, the amount of manpower, the amount of resources that they need to make that game,
I gotta say, no matter how you look at it, the deal makes sense. It just sounds shady as hell. Like I don't know, it just sounds wrong.
No, and this is why I'm pretty vehemently against using Kickstarter because I think it's completely. I think it operates in contrast to traditional. Developer-publisher relations.
There's not enough oversight for the people who fund it.
Well, it's not. Oversight is one thing, but there's also no accountability.
Right.
If a Kickstarter project gets funded, those people obviously Kickstarter takes a percentage of the crowdfunding, and then the rest goes to the person who started the Kickstarter campaign. But they don't. They could be like, oh well, we can't finish the game.
Right.
Thanks for the money. But also for me, it's like it comes down to, and Chris, I want to get your kind of opinion on this in a second. You've been kind of quiet. It's you are investing in a game. It's not like you're going to. It's not like you're going to GameStop or Walmart or Best Buy and you're throwing down $5 to pre-order a game. You are investing in a product. Like you're investing in the creation of something which you will never see a single dime from.
Right.
So for me, that's the only problem that I kind of run into. Is just like, and they're like, oh, we'll put your name in the credits. It's like, I don't give a shit because you're going to sell this game and I'm not going to see a dime. But it'd be like buying stock in a company and like they're just like, oh, we just don't want to pay our dividends this month. Sorry, that's cool, right? Like you invested in us, but we don't want to give you any money.
That's why
we made money, but we don't want to give you any money. Is that cool? Like, are you alright with that?
That's why
that's the
there's
same
only
thing that
like
Kickstarter is doing. It's like you're investing in a product, you're investing in an idea, a company, and you do not see there's no return on your investment other than a product that you may or may not get, and it may or may not be what you want, but you paid for it anyways. That's why I don't like Kickstarter, and I'll never back anything on Kickstarter ever.
Do get my signature, man.
Yeah,
and a poster.
But, Chris, what do you think about this whole thing?
I don't know. I mean, hearing you out, I don't know if I'm not really sure what the word is. I don't know if it's shady. Yeah, I don't know.
really compelling stuff. What else?
Well, no. All right. Well, let me ask you another question. Then, do you think it's okay for a company to ask for money? Not necessarily a donation, but they're asking for an investment. Do you think it's okay for a company to ask for money and then not have there be any return on the investment other than a product that you may or may not like, or may not be what you wanted?
Is it okay for them to ask? I would say yes, I suppose, because it's ultimately your decision to choose to invest.
It's your free will to decide on it.
They don't tell, like, right up front when you get to Kickstarter, they do say what you could and could not be getting. Like, it's not like they're hiding the information. They're like, oh, by the way, we could completely screw you.
I just think there's something ethically wrong with that, because that'd be like you going to going to buy stock in a company, and they're just like, obviously there's a certain risk involved with buying stocks, but if that stock is profitable, you make money off it. So say you back Kickstarter, you back Amplitude on Kickstarter, and this game sells 30 million copies. Speaking hypothetically, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Trust me. So Harmonix, from the money that you invested, they made millions of dollars. But you were buying something prior to it even coming out. You were investing in that product, but you have no stake in it.
Right.
They just have to make... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, they just have to make the benefits that much better. So if you throw in $5, then in my eyes, you're throwing $5. Do you deserve, 10% of the profit? No. Or do you deserve 5% of the profit? No. I mean, if you threw $5 $5 in, you're just donating the money.
All right,
Now, if you throw in like $100 and they're like, okay, we will give you the game, we'll sign it by the lead designers, and you'll get a T-shirt. Then fine. As long as they are good with, they follow through with that.
I want to kickstart buying a pizza. Will you donate $5 to me?
Okay, I know where you're going with this.
No. Will you donate $5? I want to kickstart a pizza. I need $20. How much are you going to donate? How much are you going to pledge?
But we don't get any pizza.
No.
I'll drop a 5.
Okay.
All right, 5.
5.
All right, cool. And I'm going to eat that whole pizza.
Yeah.
But that's not Kickstarter.
Yeah. Don't they tell you that, like, you know...
If you can pledge $1 on Kickstarter and you don't get dick.
Yeah. If you get below a tier...
No matter what your investment is, yeah, there's certain tiers you need to hit before you get anything. But if you're like, for instance, with Amplitude, you're like, I'm going to give you $5. They just took your $5. You might as well just fucking donate that to a hobo.
Yeah, but it's a certain mindset, I think. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, a certain mindset. You look at something on Kickstarter and...
They're taking advantage of people.
They are. They can be.
But you could say that for a charity.
You can say that for literally anything.
You donate $5 to Jimmy Fund. I know that you're doing something good, but do you actually track where that $5 is going to?
Well, really, like, and again, sir, it's a mindset.
There's a dichotomy between charity and investing.
But they make it, okay, yes, but when did they come in and say, this is our stock, and we need this money to improve our stock so that we can create this game, and then we'll have...
But donating to research is different than donating to a particular product. You know exactly what you're investing in. With Jimmy Fund, you give $5 to Jimmy Fund, that money is being redistributed to X number of organizations, research facilities. With Kickstarter, your money is going specifically to one entity.
But if you have a passion for that entity...
If you go in knowing that and you don't mind doing it, then there's nothing wrong with it. Yes, you have a big chance on losing out, slightly bigger than it should be, but it's a flawed system to some extent. It's shown itself to be not a terrible idea. I've funded a couple of things, but they were things I knew were going to get made, and I only did to the amount I was willing to. Like, if I wanted a product, if I saw a game in a store and I was like, I want that for $20. If I hit $20, I bought it. If I saw a Kickstarter and the tier was like, I just want the product, and the tier was like $15 for this, I'm like, that's fair. I gave the $15.
Like the jet set radio kind of...
The game Hover? Yeah, I didn't give a fucking dime to it.
But there's some people who are just as passionate about, the jet sets and the different types of games that it mirrors. And they're going to throw money at it because they're passionate about it, and they hope that they can actually make it. Because in this day and age, there's hundreds of different developers out there, and some people are going to make it while others aren't. And
Well, I think what it comes down to is that call me old-fashioned or traditional in this respect. I think if you have a good idea and you think that your game is good enough, you take your idea and you pitch it to a publisher.
That's the thing, though. It's getting harder and harder to get...
Well, then you need the key thing to advertising or even marketing your game is don't compete, be different. So if you have an idea that you think is marketable and you think it's something that could be that could be profitable or at least break even for a company, at least to establish some type of pedigree, take your product, have some confidence, and pitch it to someone. Don't go begging for money. That's what Kickstarter is. It's fucking glorified begging. It's like you could fucking donate. You could give $5 to a hobo, and he says he's going to go buy a sandwich, but he could go fucking walk to a liquor store and buy 5 nips. You don't know what they're going to do with your money, and there's been too many instances on Kickstarter where people have taken money from people and not followed through.
No, it is a flawed system.
I know like there's that inherent risk involved with Kickstarter, but what I'm saying is, if Kickstarter was like, all right, we are X company, we are selling 49% of the stock of this game to the general public. This is our public offering. Everything is $10 a share. Depending on your investment, you are going to see a return on that investment, including the product if we finish it. I think that's the way it should be done. I don't think going out and begging for money first off, I think it's kind of embarrassing that a company like Harmonix needs to go on Kickstarter. Even thing with like Double Fine went, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, come on.
I think the real thing it boils down to is it works. I'm not saying it's right, but it works.
I mean, the one thing too is like
It works for the companies, and really, that's kind of all that matters to them.
if there's one thing I can say about it is, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Tim, but some of what I think is like on the creative side that I think of is like, you know, some of the big companies, some of the people who are just startups, they have ideas that they want to throw out there, but they're worried and that it might not hit, and they throw it out on Kickstarter and try to get a response to see, you know, overall how it's going to do. Maybe because you know, for the bigger companies, their resources are going to the bigger franchises, and this is just a side project that they hope that can become something. Or B, you have the smaller company that has a dream, a bigger dream, and wants this game to hit, but you know, they've gone through those different outlets, it's failed, and they're hoping that they can go to us, the public, and try and come up with something that can work out for them and get their project up and running. So,
Plus, they know how much people want to feel like they're involved in a process that they're normally not. So it's exploitation to that extent. But
like say you want to make a PC game, like there's another game on this list or on our outline that we're going to talk about, Super Hot, that they wanted to gauge interest in their game, so they went to a competition called 7DFPS, where it's like you have 7 days to develop a first-person shooter. And they put it on Steam Greenlight. They got a lot of buzz, and they were able to generate a lot of traffic. Like Harmonix is for gamers, that's a household name. Like they're not like some ho hum like scrub company. Maybe for an indie startup, if they're looking to gauge interest, there's plenty of other outlets you can do before just doing this.
but what happens if Activision or whoever went to them and like, we'll publish this game, not Amplitude, but we want you to work on this, and this. And these are the big names, you know, the rock bands and all that. And in the back of their minds, they're like, well, we really don't want to do this, but we have to do it in order to sustainability, in order for us as a company to survive. We want to do Amplitude, but we just don't have the resources and the manpower to put time into that. So then they kickstart it to get those other people, different people. Maybe they hire people. Maybe that's the part of the Kickstarter is to fund enough so that they can get people hired and move those people into doing Amplitude, or maybe move old people into Amplitude, get new people into those other projects, the Fantasias and all that.
But the thing is, you're displacing the risk that is associated with a publisher onto consumers, and that's not okay.
But it's but I would say that the consumer is the one who makes the final say on it. If they throw in $100 and it fails miserably, you should have done the research to begin with when it's all said and done. I mean, a part of me says, yes, it's messed up that they do this, but Kickstarter is there for...
I'll make one last point, and then we're going to move on because we've been on this for a while.
Yeah.
So yesterday, you went and bought a painting.
Yes.
Pretty sweet painting, by the way. We'll throw it up on the Facebook page. If that guy came to you and said, listen, I have an idea for a painting, and I need $75 to make this painting, but you have no idea what it's going to look like, but it's just in my head, and you just need to trust me.
Now, after buying the flash painting from him, or just
no. I'm talking about the painting that you bought, but you bought that prior to it being painted. Would you have given him $75 based on faith? Now, having seen anything else he's ever done before, just, I want $75, I'm an artist, I want $75 to make this painting, will you give it to me? Because it's no different than what you're arguing. I'm just trying to make one last point.
Okay.
So give me $75, I need $75 to make this painting, give it to me based on faith, and I may or may not produce the product that you want.
I will say something right after that if you give me 1 minute right after as a recourse, but no, I would not. Because obviously I'm going in with blind faith off this guy's ability. But in the same facet, that's where you have to do your research. Because a lot of these Kickstarters will just be like, oh, just give us money. Here's the ideas. And it's all like going different ways. And you're like, what the hell is this? It's all jumbled. It's confusing. some Kickstarters, though, they'll have a trailer video. They'll show the aspects
I
of
think
it.
They have to. I think it's
Well, yeah,
mandatory.
but I mean, they'll have a trailer, and it's coherent, and it makes sense.
And a lot of times
there's
they have
ideas,
work done on it already.
and they'll say these are the people that are working on it. So we have these people it's a team from people from Halo. We have these people from Mass Effect. We have these people from blah 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 blah, and it solidifies a part to
38 studios. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, hey,
Damn it.
we didn't have
Damn
any.
it. Damn it, Schilling.
Well, I'm just saying, like, name pedigree means nothing. 38 studio. I'm just gonna say 38 studio. That's my argument. That's my counter argument to that. Is 38 studios.
But if you're
Say I'm wrong. But I'm just saying, like,
that's that. But to be fair, that was millions upon millions of dollars.
No, I know. I'm saying
I'm-
it was a poor investment.
Yeah, I'm just saying if someone throws $20 into a project,
Well,
No
we're all
big-
technically, as Rhode Island residents, we're all throwing money into the 38 Studios
hey,
project.
and that was something completely.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
based on namesake alone, you can't
Yeah.
really trust it. But
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna kind of. That was a good conversation. I liked it. Chris, any last thoughts?
No.
He's wrapping his head around this whole thing.
You're a rock, Chris.
I
You're
definitely
all
want
right.
to talk about the
So-
Superman thing.
Yeah. So this is probably more important for me because I'm probably the only person here who Skypes. But you can Skype the Xbox One app now.
Oh,
Or,
cool.
sorry, yeah. You can snap the Xbox One Skype app.
I just had a quick thing with that. So, can you play a game and have a picture-in-picture as you're playing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, sweet.
The first images of Hyrule Warriors came up. Chris, how do you feel about that?
I didn't care.
Oh, all right.
Really?
Aw.
Holy shit! I would have
Well,
thought you were
that's-
aesthetic.
That's
Well, no.
one of those things. It's like,
I guess
who
so.
asked for this? Like,
Dynasty
why are
Warriors
they-
Link, everyone asked for it.
No one asked for this.
Not a single word.
I only thought you would be ecstatic because it was Dynasty Wars and it was something
No,
new.
it's like when they do these fusion games, like they fuse Dynasty Warriors and Gundam together. And I thought that would be a good combination, but I didn't end up liking it. They fused it with like One Piece, I think, too, the anime. You might not be familiar with. And then they're doing it with this.
That's the guy with the funny arms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's made rubber.
The rubber arms. Yeah. Now they're doing it with Zelda, and it's just like, who keeps asking for this?
One person.
Just
Japanese-
barely enough
Japanese
people.
people.
It's a lot of Japanese people.
Yeah. The game will also be playable at E3, so if you're fortunate enough to be at E3 this year, let us know how it is. But I have some other stuff that's related to that, Chris, for you later, and we'll get into it.
Okay.
New UFC trailer came out for the next gen UFC game, and it kind of gave me that holy shit moment.
Yeah.
Of from Fight Night, when Fight Night Round 3 came out on 360.
It looks really sweet. The only thing I was going to say with it is it seemed almost too fast. Do you get that feeling? Like,
They might have sped up the trailer just for a show.
No,
Like
it
the
was-
fighting,
they-
like,
they
the
showed a
punches-
fight- They showed a fight.
Yeah.
the punch, like it just seemed like it was going like way too fast. Like in terms of like it was just like like I'm like, is there like any sort of like
Well, have you ever watched the
Energy-
highlights? You ever watched highlights for a UFC fight? Because they're not like that. They look amazing, but like you can show highlights from the most boring fight in history, and it'll look amazing.
yeah?
And you're watching the first trailer for a game that's not out
It
yet.
wasn't like when I say trailer, like they played a match.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like it wasn't random clips pieced together. Like they
No, yeah, so
they
the
did
game-
a round.
I haven't seen that one
Yeah,
yet.
they
Then
did a round
Like
of it, but,
graphics, everything phenomenal. I'm just wondering, does this have any sort of like fatigue, energy meter? It just seems like you can just. I'm all for just keep throwing, as you know, I'm all for just keep throwing punches and there's no repercussions.
Well, I think sometimes they go for that HUD-less interface to kind of for more immersion.
Yeah.
But,
I just didn't see anybody stop. Like it just kept going. Like haymaker, haymaker, haymaker. Like in Fight Night,
well, the people got
they
like,
get slowed down.
Well, I forgot I don't remember the fighters' names, but like there was times where like they got rocked, and like you could see that like on their face, and that's with next gen you don't need bars or anything, and that's what they did with Fight Night. It was a HUD-less interface where it's like you could see like visual damage and visual fatigue. Like you didn't need like if like Pacquiao was like if he was like like groggy, he's like. You don't need the bar saying like, "Oh, you're tired. Don't throw a punch."
Well, no, like I agree with you there, but like remember, like in Fight Night, you would like throw a punch, like you throw a bunch of punches, and then it'd just be like, ugh, like you would just like, ugh, like it would go, the punches, like the impact would be slower.
Yeah, because
Well,
you're fatigued.
my
I
only
just didn't see that in it. I just saw like I saw like basically a barroom brawl. Like it was just like there was no stop.
I doubt they'll do that. Wait for the next one. You'll see. I doubt they're going to do that.
I'd like to
But
see
we
Bruce
don't-
Lee though.
That's what
Chris,
they're
you
doing.
watched the
So
trailer?
No, actually, I only saw the screenshots.
No, no
I
worries.
didn't know there was
Bruce
a trailer.
Lee.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, we're gonna kind of keep burning through. I already talked about Super Hot.
Super Hot.
Yeah, Super Hot is it's a first-person shooter on PC where you only like time only moves when you move. It's pretty cool. If you go to their website, you can check it out.
It's trippy.
I kind of want to talk about this a little bit, but we've kind of get going over on time. Batman Superman movie has an official title: Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice.
don't care. I didn't enjoy Man of Steel and David Gore's an asshole. So
Heard it here first.
like him specifically, I'm like pissed off at him specifically. So I'm just not gonna
What
bother.
did you think? Well, just about the name in general. What did you think about the name?
The name kind of confuses me in the sense that like,
Well, it's just
why
a-
can't you just do, just do like, I don't know, just Dawn of Justice or just call it Justice League, or why do you have to have Batman? Like, because then I'm like led to believe there's like multiple things happening.
There are.
Batman versus Superman. All right, so does that mean they're gonna fight, or are they just gonna team up? And then you go Dawn of Justice. Oh yeah, we're also gonna throw these other characters.
They are.
So
They have Flash and Wonder Woman in it,
and Cyborg.
and probably Cyborg. They have at least two different villains set up, possibly Aquaman. They have a whole thing going on.
But like,
you're buying into you're overthinking the hype machine, man.
I'm also surprised he called it Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Batman's bigger.
Well, in terms of mind share.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, so are we gonna get a fight between Batman and Superman? Because that's all I'm
You're
really
gonna get a
looking
few
for.
punches thrown, probably, because they don't have no original thought in their heads. But no, you're not gonna get a full-on fight. Remember the World's Finest movie in the Superman cartoon?
Yes.
Early 2000s? That. They hate each other for about 10 minutes. They're gonna do that in the movie.
That's unfortunate, man. I just
What did you expect? It's a Warner Brothers. They don't give a shit about source material.
well, because the costume and the way it was looking seemed like they were gonna go into like the Dark Knight Returns territory.
Again, they're just taking ideas from that comic because they're like, what can we do after the Dark Knight movies? So they took the closest comic, which would be Dark Knight Returns. They took some thematic things from that and they shoved it into the movie.
Well,
I don't know if you can tell. I do not care. I'm very angry about this movie.
Chris, what did you think about? I'm assuming you saw the image of Batfleck came out
Yeah.
last week.
Oh, sad Batman.
But what did you think of like the title?
Swing.
The title alone. Do you think it's good title, bad title, confusing?
I think it's a decent title. If it's gonna be like the first movie in like I don't know whatever they do, a trilogy that leads into them becoming the Justice League. I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was for me. I thought it was something that would I think it's fairly direct to the point. So we'll see what happens. I'm with Ryan. I wasn't the biggest fan of Man of Steel, so hopefully injecting some other characters into it will kind of breathe some new life into it and make it more interesting. So
it's better than Superman Returns.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You can say that, damn it.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
It was
I
still
think-
stupid.
I think we can all say that. But yeah. So the next couple of pieces of news are kind of whatever. Evolve has a release date. It's coming out October 21st on Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Nice.
I'm excited for that game, very much so.
Didn't they have new footage with new hunters and things like that?
I think they put up a few new videos, so you can check that out. We can keep up with the footage of it. It's I think the game's gonna be really fun. Like I said, I played it at PAX, so got my ball bracelet. Wolf Among Us Episode 4 is coming out on Tuesday alongside Watch Dogs. It was funny because Wolf Among Us, they kind of neglected it, and now they're just like pumping them out. So it's cool that it's coming out. So that's one reason why I want to get caught up. But it comes out the 27th on PC, Mac, and PlayStation. May 28th on Xbox 360 and May 29th on iOS devices.
Jeez, everything's coming on the 27th right now.
It's a big day.
Yeah. Minecraft has been announced. Well, it was announced for Xbox One, but it's coming out in August. It will be $19.99. But if you owned the Xbox 360 version, either digitally or the retail version, you can upgrade for $4.99. So your saves will transfer.
Nice.
And last piece of news. The Xbox One June update has been detailed. It's going to include external hard drive support, and you'll be able to use real names, kind of like PlayStation 4 does now.
Quick question: you gonna get a external hard drive because of that?
When I need to. Right now, my Xbox still has quite a bit of room left on it. So I'd be more excited if they did external hard drive support for Xbox 360 than I would buy an external hard drive and consolidate all my 360 stuff to one 360. But the cool thing about that is if you'll be able to take an external hard drive, and if you have a digital game, not a game that's just installed, but if you purchase it digitally, you'll be able to bring your external hard drive to someone else's house and use it.
Yeah, I've read that. That was pretty
nice.
cool.
So I'm pretty excited for that. But and one thing that I forgot to say last week, which is probably the biggest news of all, is Flappy Bird is coming back in August.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not.
Wow.
I feel like you did say that.
Nope, I didn't.
I don't remember reading it.
I didn't say it. Trust me, because I went through. Trust me, when I edited the podcast.
Was there seriously enough push behind the infamy of that game?
Well, the funny thing is that there's been yes, and everyone who's tried to clone the game has somehow made it worse.
Wow.
I don't know how that. Yeah.
Trust me,
We played them.
I played like 50 Flappy Bird clones. They're all worse than Flappy Bird.
It makes no sense to me. Yeah, Tim, we totally need to do like a side-by-side just rage quit video on that.
But yeah, I'm gonna do. As of right now, we had no submitted questions or topics. I'm going to check real quick to see if we had anything.
Da, 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 da,
I'm assuming it's probably still good emails. But we'll see what happens.
Elevator music based off a TV show.
Oops. I don't have that email in here. I'm gonna check my phone real quick. But yeah, while we're waiting for this to load up.
Let's talk about why
This
Grant
is
Morrison sucks.
This is
Grant
Chris's
Morrison sucks.
stuff.
Don't even get me started. Don't.
Please
Don't get me started. I read a bunch of his comics recently. He's the worst.
Why did you read his comics recently?
I had to.
Why did you have to read Grant
They were
Morrison?
so bad.
Alright, this is for Chris and Chris only. Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate.
Alright.
It's coming out,
Yes.
and it's gonna have. I'm gonna read the press release just until this turns on. It's coming out fall 2014. It's coming out on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, Xbox One. It looks like no Xbox 360, which is kind of strange.
Huh.
But one warrior against 1,000 battles. New and crossover characters, captivating lands and stages. That's all I wanted to say. And also, hold on, there's another thing that's for Chris and Chris only. Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn pre-order details bonus.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Reborn 2 comes out June 27th.
How do they keep making those games?
Because Chris keeps buying them.
Japan.
Japan and Chris.
It must be like
Chris is his own
half
country.
of their revenue.
I got those are two emails I got in, and I was like, yeah, those are for Chris.
We have tracked the money down. We know where it's coming from.
Alright, let me see if I can.
We have U.S. support. It's good.
Alright.
Got that one guy in New England. Maybe a dude in like Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. How'd you get those emails anyway?
I still have contacts.
He stole them.
Were they Batman comics that you had to read?
Yeah.
Why do you have to read them?
It's a thing. I don't know. It's
What,
the
you
same way.
like
Do you follow your favorite
being a
sport?
masochist?
Do you follow sports when your team is doing shit?
Yeah,
Yeah. Same thing. I follow comics when I don't want to.
you bring up a good comparison.
I need to know. I need to know what. And that's the thing. Is I was curious. I'm like, why did they let Morrison write Batman? I thought it might be a fluke, but no, they let him write for like 5 or 6 years, and I don't know why. I think he was bribed.
I just had both my bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, we got nothing. sorry for the wait.
Thanks,
Well,
thanks,
shucks.
guys.
Well, shucks and damn.
Thanks, guys. The first week we had nothing. That's embarrassing. But yeah, alright, so that's the end of our show. We want to thank you for watching the show every week. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Daily Motion, where we put all our videos there now. You can follow us on Tumblr. You can follow us on Twitter @TapGaming. You can follow me on Twitter @Tim_Utley. You can follow Dougie on Twitter at SalGoodNair. It's his name spelled backwards, Ryan Douglas. You can follow Al on Twitter at AlPocalypseNow. And as always, you can't find Chris anywhere.
Ghost.
He's not even here.
He's a ghost. But anyways, we want to thank you for watching the show, and we will see you next week.
Come on, Dougie, do it with me. Peace up.
Peace up, Altown down.
Yes. Love it.
Unity.
Unity.